Hey friends, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to go live because I recently had some experiences where I found new customers or new people came into my circle, and I took the opportunity to share Scentsy with them. Maybe they have never purchased from me before, maybe they didn't know I sold Scentsy. I just wanted to share, sales is like my game. I work really, really, really hard for PRV, and I'm all for like finding new customers and like maintaining relationships, that sort of thing. If you're watching the replay of this, comment replay. But this won't be too long, but I just wanted to share some thoughts. A few weeks ago, my husband and I went to a liquor store that also has a bar. And we were just sitting at the bar and trying some bourbon or whatever. And in comes like a husband and wife, and I just kind of vibed with the wife, and she had like really cool hair and whatever. So we just like complimented each other and like started talking, and then like the conversation came up about social media. And she said she had like a TikTok account that was about like bourbon and whiskey and how like women in the industry, you know, just highlighting women in the industry. And so I was like, oh, well, what's your TikTok? So I followed her on TikTok, and then she kind of like saw my Scentsy content while we were there. And the bartender actually she knew I sold Scentsy and all that stuff. So she was like, oh yeah, Eric is great, blah, blah, blah. And that just kind of led to the conversation of Scentsy, and I invited this lady to my open house and whatnot. She didn't come, but she actually was like, hey, can you send me your link and whatever. So that hasn't happened in a while, so that is kind of what made me think to do this live. So I guess in a way, just don't be afraid to talk to people and share things, especially if you're in conversation, and just let Scentsy come up organically. You don't want to be talking to someone and randomly change the subject and be like, oh yeah, so Scentsy. But with the whole TikTok thing, I create some Scentsy content. I don't share on TikTok as often as I do on Instagram or Facebook, just because I don't really think about it, if I'm honest. But that was just a really organic, subtle way to bring up that I have a Scentsy business, and I'm a Scentsy consultant, Scentsy fragrance consultant. She had never heard of Scentsy before, so she has not placed an order, but she is a new person in my circle, and so she could be a customer in the future, a referral in the future, something like that, a host in the future, team member in the future, I don't know. So that was just really, really cool to me. But other ways that I have gained new customers lately is just social media in general, sharing things, and not being afraid to follow or add friends with your coworkers, people at church, people at the hair salon, people at community events, whatever. If they have a social media account, you best believe I'm more than likely going to add them and want to be friends with them. If I don't like what they're posting, I will usually just unfollow them. If they don't like what I'm posting, they can do what they want. But I added a coworker who was leaving my company that I work for with my 9 to 5. I added her on Facebook because I was like, let's keep up with each other, whatever. And she did not know I sold Scentsy, because I just don't really share that very often with my 9 to 5, because I just don't want any controversy or whatever. But she saw the NFL collection, and she said, oh, I need the Browns warmer. Poor thing is a Browns fan, but anyway, she pre-ordered with me the Browns warmer. She had no idea I sold Scentsy, so that is a new customer. So that was a good way to gain someone, and she can be a referral in the future. She shared the Browns warmer once she received it. It came to her pretty quickly, but she shared it on social media and tagged me, and I was able to put the link in the comments. And people were kind of commenting on it, like, "Oh, that's so cool," and hasn't led to anything yet, but any other orders or anything like that. But that is just such a good way to like get your name out there. Like, I love referrals. I love when people share that they're happy with their Scentsy and they like my customer service, that sort of thing. And that's just appreciated and a good way to just get more people in your circle, like I say. Another way, like, I know I just kind of talked about this, but referrals. I know my mom at work, she's always like, well, my son sells Scentsy. Like, if someone new starts or something, like, she will let them know and tell them and whatnot. And I have gained a handful of new customers because of my mom like referring people to me, so that's really cool too. I have one who worked with her in the past and no longer works with her, but she's still a customer, and she actually like has a party a couple of times a year now. So like, just referrals like that, and like not being afraid to give people your business card, that sort of thing. That's really nice. Also, my hairdresser, who I'm like really close to anyway. Like, she's one of my best friends, but I'll just ask her like, "Hey, can I leave a couple of these catalogs and business cards here?" And a lot of her clients have actually become my customer because of, you know, her referring me or me leaving my materials at the hair salon. So that is another way that I have gained new customers over the years. And just like I say, just different events, not being afraid to, you could tell like your customer, like, tell your friends, especially if you like, if someone's like letting you know like, this is amazing customer service, blah blah blah. You can definitely I think some consultants do like a referral program. I don't know, you could be like, refer someone who places an order, and you can get a free wax bar, whatever. That's just an example. That's not something I do personally, but I have an open house usually about 2 or 3 times a year. I just had one like 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. And I did a program where, well, not a program, but I did a thing where I said, bring a friend, and I didn't post this publicly or anything like that, but I had it on like postcards and whatnot. But I said, like, bring a friend and you will receive an extra gift. So I had one of my customers bring a friend, and that friend purchased some things, so she got an extra gift. And a few people did that actually, so I had like 5 like extra little bags ready to go, like, of just like little goodies like candy and like samples and stuff. And they like loved it. So that's how I've gained new customers over the years too, just like people bringing other people to open houses, events, that sort of thing, and like getting their contact information, and like making sure you send that follow-up text after they place the order. I know I have a community group that I'm in, and it's for like obviously it's for like queer people in my hometown. And through that group, I met a great new friend, and she saw my Scentsy content, and she knew that someone really liked Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, and she had sent them my link for the Harvest collection, and she placed an order. She ordered that Darkly Devoted warmer. So that's a really cool way to, like, just back to the social media thing, finding new people in your community groups. Like, you don't want to be gross and be like, hey, I sell Scentsy, buy my products or whatever. But definitely just having that organic conversation, or like sharing comments, that sort of thing. I think that's a really good way to find new people. And lastly, just branding yourself. I know I have gone to like car washes and grocery stores and stuff in like Scentsy gear, and people have asked for my business card, or they've like said something about Scentsy. Oh, I love Scentsy, blah blah blah. I have a warmer, whatever they say about Scentsy, that they love it and whatnot. And I try to keep business cards on hand. Like I keep a few in my wallet, like at all times, just in case. Like, here's my website, here's my information. Feel free to give me a call. And also, I put my business card whenever I work events. I also always wear like Scentsy gear, and I try to put a business card in every bag. Like if someone buys something from my booth, I put a business card in there. And a handful of times people have called me and they say, I purchased from you at an event, or my daughter purchased from you at an event and, referred me to you. So that's just like, there's so many ways, like, but the biggest way, like, just open your mouth, just let people know. And that kind of goes back to what I said at the beginning. So, that's how I've been finding new customers lately. It's really worked out for me. If you think that people aren't, interested in Scentsy or whatever, you never know. You never know until you try, or until you mention it, or until you post about it. I make a point to make a post or two in my VIP group daily, and on my personal Facebook, I try to share something Scentsy related, at least like 4 times a week, maybe more. And I definitely use my stories, my Instagram and Facebook stories. They're like linked together, so that's kind of nice. But to share Scentsy things as well, because like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always like looking at people's stories on Facebook and Instagram, and sometimes I'll get replies to my Scentsy content, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so pretty," and I'll send them the link to that warmer or whatever I've shared in the post. So that's just some information about finding new customers and what has worked for me lately. But just being yourself, being very authentic. And like, if you are yourself, I think people will just come to you organically. Like, this is a business, and like, although, yeah, these customers are coming to me, it's happened over time. And I will say, I work really, really hard. I don't just like sit here and get sales. I actually like talk to people and send the follow-ups, send the emails, make the posts. I probably work my business on top of my full-time job, like, I don't know, 10 to 20 hours a week, sometimes more, depending on the season or depending on what I have going on. Because this is income for me, and this economy sucks. So, here we are. So I see this as a second job that I can do from home. So that's just how I treat it and how I see it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you got some tips from it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you found anything helpful, if you have anything that has helped you, or if you have a story of how you found new customers or whatnot. I would love to hear from you, because you may give me some tips, or other people as well. If you're on YouTube, I would love it if you would like this video and subscribe. If you're watching the replay of this, please comment replay. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.